Welcome back to a new video in which we're gonna build a Chat GPT NFT Minter. Now everything you see is built by Chat GPT, from the header to the connect button to the chat box we're gonna see very soon. We're gonna use Moralis for authentication, for uploading our conversations to IPFS, and we can also fetch those minted NFTs using the Moralis endpoint. So if you want to take your dApps to the next level and listen to any blockchain event happening on an EVM chain, make sure you sign up for Moralis Pro account. Now, without further ado, let me demonstrate this app so we can connect and sign this message right here. Then we pop up the chat box. We can ask the Chat GPT bot using the OpenAI API to tell us a poem about Ethereum and hit send. And now we're gonna wait for the response to come back. And it says that Ethereum, a blockchain of dreams, a platform for all to use, a place to build and explore a world of endless possibilities. That's awesome. So let's mint this conversation as an NFT. And once I hit this button, we can see that we can sign and confirm this mint. So let's confirm that. And what happens now is if we go to Etherscan, I've pasted the smart contract. We can see we created it 52 minutes ago. So let's reload this page and we can see that once this goes from pending to successful, we will be able to see that right here. There we have it. 22 seconds ago, we minted this NFT. So we can take this smart contract and go to Moralis and use this get contract NFTs endpoint. Now let's paste the smart contract in here and choose Go Early because that's the network we minted on. Try this out and we can see that we get the data for this NFT that we just minted using Chat GPT. Now that's pretty awesome. Stay tuned and I will show you how to build this. Hey, I'm Joseph, your Web3 instructor from Sweden. I've been into crypto since 2017 and have been building in the space since 2021. In my free time, I enjoy playing paddle, going to the gym or hanging out with my dog. I always try to enjoy some good pancakes, but that's for another time. Now let's get back to the video. Alright, so we have our Moralis Chat GPT folder, and within that one we have 3 more folders. Let's start with Hot Hat that contains our smart contract, and we have imported OpenZeppelin 3 contract classes that we're going to use. The first one is for inheriting the ERC 721 standard for our smart contract. Then we're gonna have counters because we want to give our smart contract the functionality to count how many minted NFTs we have and give them special IDs, and also ownable so we can have access control and only let the owner of this smart contract to mint. Then we have the mint function that takes 2 parameters, the address as a recipient and then the token URI, which is our IPFS link that we generated once we hit that mint button. Now let's go inside the backend folder, which is an Express server. So we're gonna have to install Express, also install OpenAI so we can talk to their API, and also Moralis because we're gonna need our API key. We're also gonna need to make requests towards that endpoint. So make sure you sign up for the pro account and log into your dashboard to get your API key and store that inside the env file right here. Now inside index.js, that's where we're gonna import Express, and we're gonna have our server on port 5001. Require Moralis as well and the API key from the env file like so. Then we can use the start function, pass along our API key, and also listen to the server right here. We're gonna add some configuration from the OpenAI documentation as so, and I've taken it straight from their documentation. I'm not gonna show you step by step how to do all that, but if you want a longer format video, how to create a Chat GPT NFT Minter, make sure you smash the comment section with that and I will create that longer format video for you. Our Express server is gonna have 2 endpoints. The root, and that's gonna use OpenAI create completion to pass along our message and get the response back and send that response to the front-end client that we have. We're also gonna have the /upload to IPFS endpoint that uses the EVM API IPFS upload folder endpoint provided by Moralis to create an IPFS path to conversation.json with the conversation we passed along to it. and then send that link to the front-end client so we can mint that NFT later on. Now let's jump into the front-end folder, which is the Next.js Moralis auth, and inside the app.jsx, you can see we import different providers because we want to use authentication all around our app. We need to wrap our application with wagmi config and then session provider. Now within the sign-in.jsx, that's where we're rendering the header and the connect button, and using the handle auth, we can connect or disconnect using MetaMask. Now we check first if we are connected, and if we already are connected, or once we connect, we're gonna display this user.jsx page, which contains another header and then the sign out button. It also contains our last component, the logged in one. So let's go into that one, and we can see that there's a lot of things happening in here, but don't worry, we're gonna go through them step by step. Let's start at the bottom where we render everything, and this is what Chat GPT created itself. And I can show you that by going to the browser, to my conversation with Chat GPT. I got this one first, and then I used this HTML to get the styling for it, and here's what I got. I basically copy pasted this and made some changes just to adapt to my application. But then also I asked it to generate the JavaScript code for us to select those classes and then create new elements like so, and append both CSS classes and also append the messages to different sections and divs. So that's pretty cool, and that's how ChatGPT built our application for us. Now let's go back in here, and you can see that this is pretty similar. We have an on-change handler right here, and also this on-click handler for the send message, and then we also have the mint NFT button. But let's start right here, and what happens once we start typing inside the input field. We can go up here, and we're basically taking that value and storing it in this state variable right here. Then once we hit the send message, we're doing some logic right here. So first of all, we're emptying the input field, and then we're selecting this chat history section from below that we just saw. Then we can add the messages into a new paragraph and append this paragraph into chat history. Then we're sending that message to our backend server using Axios to fetch a response from the OpenAI API. And once we get the response back, we're setting that inside a new paragraph element right here. And then we append this the same way to chat history, and that's how we create a conversation. Then we display our show mint button, which is the one below right here. And that also has an on-click function to the mint function, where we do another request using Axios, but this time to /upload to IPFS endpoint using this conversation. And our backend will now create the link to IPFS, which we later on can use right here. If you remember, this mint function takes two parameters, our address and the link, the URI, right here. And once we get the response back, we just console log this message, but at the same time, if we go to Etherscan, we can see that conversation right there, and also fetch it using the Moralis API. Now that's pretty cool. You don't need more lines of code than this. This is a pretty cool application with just a few lines of code. Let me demonstrate to you one more time. If we go right here and reload this page, we can ask it which cryptos do you like, and it will respond. Once it responds, we can mint this again as NFTs, and once this is going through, we can view it on Etherscan. So that's pretty cool, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want this longer detailed video about how to create this dApp, make sure you comment that below and hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video.